Hello, everybody. I posted earlier that I was going to awkwardly go live, so I am tweeting out the link now. And I'll awkwardly sit here for a minute and open my drink. If you watched the video that I made yesterday, you'll notice two things. Number one, my hair looks even grosser as I have not showered in a couple days. And two, you can still see that I'm wearing the same damn shirt as yesterday. I'm rocking my sweet, sweet Donny Cates Devil's Advocates shirt. And I'm very excited because it's very comfortable. Okay. So a couple weeks ago, I saw someone retweet a picture from a shop in Denver, Mile High Comics' Facebook page, where they were talking about how to try and help people get through this period of time, and in terms of us not knowing about when distribution would resume, when we would be able to get into stores again, and any of that kind of stuff, that they were going to start putting together uh, like mystery bags and mystery boxes of comics that you could pick up by theme. Like there was a Marvel box, a DC box, a Young Readers box. I think Dark Horse and Image you could do, indies in general, and then a couple of boxes that were titles sorted by the letter that the comic started with. So I was intrigued by that and picked up two different boxes that I think were a steal. That they were both like $20 to $30 each, plus a little bit of shipping. So I figure it's something good to read, especially knowing that we're not going to get, new in print books from the major publishers for a while now. I'm aware today that DC announced that they are going to resume physical publishing or physical distribution through two different non-diamond distributors. On like April 27th, 28th. And that's interesting but irrelevant to me because the governor of the state of Kansas has still extended our stay-at-home order until at least the 3rd of May. So that's going to take a while. And, some of the individual DC creators have said that they've pushed for their book to be held off for a while, right? Like I know that Tinian's Batman 92 isn't coming out for quite some time. And I know that in kind of trying to play catch up, DC or Diamond then released today that they were planning on resuming distribution, I think. So we'll see. I mean, we all know that we're living in crazy trying times. So in terms of the things that are in the boxes that I remember reading from the description, I think one of the things that they said that they would be guaranteed to be in here was a variant cover made exclusively for Mile High Comics as a shop. And then I think they said that there would be a trade in here. So I just grabbed whichever stack was on top, and it's the marble stack. There's a lovely note. It says, "Attention parents, we have not curated these for content, so I might see extreme violence or the F word. But cool. Um, so in going through my Marvel pile, and then we'll dive into the DC stuff in a minute. The top is my exclusive Mile High Comics variant, and I'm very excited about it. It's their variant of Secret Wars #1. This I know is one of the series that I've planned on attempting to dive into because I'm assuming it's on Marvel Unlimited. Right now, I'm rereading the Infinity Saga stuff from the late 80s, early 90s. Because I have those books physically, but I'm too terrified to open them and read them. Aside from going, these are books that I don't want to ruin. But I know Secret Wars is definitely on my radar. Let's see, we got a #1 of World War Hulk After Smash Warbound. Cool. A Joss Whedon Astonishing X-Men with, I think this is Wolverine. Is that him making out with Emma Frost on the cover? We've got some Anita Blake Vampire Hunter. This I don't know who that is at all, but I'll look at it. I'm reading Morbius. I'm reading Philadelphia. I'm reading more vampire books than I have in the past. All right, we've got Avengers 291. So we'll fill in the blanks on some of my Avengers collecting. I've got, let's see, The Amazing Scarlet Spider. Captain America from late 90s. It's let's see, Mark Wade's run, $2 title, early to mid 90s. My favorite thing lately has been flipping through books to not just look at the random ads that make me laugh. Like I was reading the Superman Doomsday stuff last night and putting away some of the Warlock books that I've read, and there were ads for like the original Mortal Kombat game or the original Game Genie, and that made me laugh. I randomly flipped in here. I know people are excited about the Final Fantasy VII reboot that's out. Here's a 2-page spread for Final Fantasy Tactics. So that's the other reason why I like buying a lot of these older books that come back in. Let's see. And Ecstatics. I don't know much about this series. I know that I read the annual, the one shot that came out last year. Let's see. Spider-Man, Doc Ock. Good random cluster of Spider-Man. Here's a Bendis Ultimate Spider-Man, issue 104. Another World War Hulk title. Oh, the Gamma Core. This is something that I'm loosely familiar with, and it's a #1. Some Bendis X-Men, Ultimate X-Men. And the all-new X-Men. Ultimate Extinction. Here is actually some of the books that I've tangentially been collecting, and when you see the title or the cover image, a lot of you will instantly know why. The Avengers vs. X run that's done by Bendis et al. And something I knew I would hunt down because you've got Namor plays a decent sized role in that, and if you have not read anything where I pine on about loving the Submariner, you've got it there. Alien Legion. This is a bit bigger of a book in terms of being one of those like prestige trades. I know I'm reading or not really a trade, but a prestige format kind of book. I've been picking up a bunch of these from the mid 90s in terms of some of the Punisher Captain America work that came out. Here's a three for in terms of the 2099. In terms of you've got a Hulk, Lacrima, and a Metal Scream, and that's actually a pretty Pretty good looking cover. Ooh, a Spider-Man Punisher. I'm excited by that. All right, we've hit the second Marvel title that I really don't know what the fuck this is. Whatever X-Man is. It's the number 67. Look, I'm really Spider-Man. Okay. Spider-Man Breakout. So something that came out of the new Avengers. Oh, here's a book that I'll laugh about a little bit. So I got Alpha Flight number 1 and Flight number 2. And see, this is a newer Alpha Flight run. Fear Itself number 1 of 8. And Uncanny X. Oh, I remember this one. Whedon on the Astonishing X-Men with all of the White Queen on the front. Some more ASM. Ooh, what's this? Mutants. The ice melted, the seas rose. In a post-polar society where the land is most precious commodity, the great sea scrapers from the last bastions of Earth's human population. Nations marooned on a corporate-run steel islands, every castaway employee and cut off by the unpredictable and tempestuous elements. Claustrophobic, intense, inescapable, the last place on Earth you want to kill or loose, a killer virus like Mutatus. Maybe that's the world we're living in now. Spider-Man Aranya. Don't know what that is. Ooh. I've started collecting some of the older run of Daredevil. So here's Daredevil 326. I've talked about how I'm starting to appreciate Excalibur as a cluster based on the new run of Excalibur, that it's given me something to pivot back to. So here's a mid-90s Excalibur. Spider-Man Torment. And some McFarlane cover. Is that a croc on there? Wolverine Soul Taker. I don't know what that is. Extermination Part 1. And then we've got here at the bottom two trades. One of them, I know already that there's part of it I want to hunt down. I've got X-Men Forever 2. This has been one of the X-Men series that's been on my radar, that now I've got to go back and find the number 1, since that collects 6 through 10. I'll see if I can find the 1 through 5, and I'll check out in stock trades. And then I know the other one that they were talking about being in as many boxes as they could get is the hardcover of Stephen King's Dark Tower, Gunslinger Born. So I know little bits about what that is, but good old nice, good, sexy hardcover trade will give me something to kind of crack into in a bit. So decent titles. I know what's going on about 40% of the time. Oh, hey, Grabs. So there's a shop in Denver called Mile High Comics that is doing like 4 or 5 different clusters of mystery boxes. They've got Marvel, DC, I think Image and Dark Horse, a one that's for kids, and then 4 or 5 different boxes that are letters of the alphabet, and all of the titles in that like cluster start from the letter of the alphabet. So I selected 2. The Marvel box, and then the greater independent cluster, because I was afraid if I was picking in an Image or a Dark Horse, some of the pictures I saw of their table that they were loading books from are a lot of newer titles, and those are things that I've got. Hey Wes, what's going on? You missed me mumbling through large parts of my Marvel box. But what I will say is, I think that half of the box was the more expensive of the two. I think it was it was $40, but I feel like I got beyond the value in that one, and some of them, I got some pretty decent uh, variant covers that I can't get from anywhere else, that they're specific to that shop. And as I don't live in Denver, Colorado, I think I live something like 7.5 hours from Denver, and it feels like even longer than that, because if any of y'all have driven through Kansas, Western Kansas at times is a beautiful place to drive through if you like looking at the plains and some farmland. But then it's also fucking excruciating at times, because once you hit uh, like 100 miles from the Colorado border, all you get to do is stare at the mountains in front of you. And they just tease you until you hit Denver. So this second box is a mixture of random independent titles, and I'm just kind of flipping through this one now, and there are a couple in here that are exciting to me. Kansas on accident, then yeah, you definitely turned left out of the airport instead of turning right. Okay. So in going through this box, I can't see the publisher on it. Um, something for 10. Oh, it's Aspen Comics. Uh, it's their Mile High Comics exclusive, Overtaken #1. It was a book, looks like in the small print, it was published in August of 2013. I don't know anything about it, but in terms of looking at something that gives value to the box, it's one of 750 covers, so cool. Um, Olympus Heights. This is a series that I vaguely remember um, hearing about and phasing out. That the dating on the back page dates this at 2004, which early college would have been when I was phasing fully out of reading comics, because I discovered, more cigarettes and alcohol. But I like some of the early 2000s IDW stuff. I'm now 7 books down. I don't know what the hell any of these are. But here's something that I remember: the Nightman. And the problem with seeing this cover is it's now going to have fucking Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia making me chuckle when he sings Dayman and Nightman. But a #1 of 3 from Malibu Comics, that these are some ones that I can easily go back and find. And in terms of chuckling, on the back is another old vice of mine. If any of y'all played the Star Wars collectible like card game, it was a trip. All right, what's the next one that I saw that made me chuckle? It was this one. So in a different mystery box I laughed at having a comic novelization of the first X-Men movie, but another book from Oni Press. I am now the proud owner of the Blair Witch Project #1, because again, that feels like a necessary connection. But it's a black and white kind of grayscale book, so in my review of some of the Ashcan Press stuff cover, of my favorite, let's say, I think it was a Nintendo 64 game, motherfucking Turok the Dinosaur Hunter. That's that's an interesting one to me. Ooh, Deep Space Nine. All right, here's a character that I know is still around that I've never read anything about. But yeah, Wes, I think it might be kind of shaky, like the movie. Someone was like writing it while on a train. Uh, Vampirella. I know she's still around and kicking, but I've not read Vampirella or Red Sonja. I don't know what this one is, but I'm intrigued because if y'all ever wanted to see me try and draw something, the cover of this might have nailed my artistic ability. It's called, I can't even read the script, Scroll, but it's from Revolutionary Comics. The inside is stick figures and other random geometric shapes, so it's mildly entertaining to me. Oh, here's a Transformers book. I can't remember who I was listening to. I think it was Comic Burrito last night. I think one of those guys was talking about reading um, a Transformers book. I know he was talking about Turtles, but I think it might be on. It might have been on the radar. Speaking of video games, Metal Gear Solid, the official comic book. I'll be excited by this one, although it's like 30%, 40% comic, and then a bunch of random IDW back matter. Maybe I'm less excited about that. And picking independent, I thought it might be a collection of some of the, but it's not. It's all publishers that IDW and Malibu are the only two that I've heard of. But here's my um, trade at the back. I know someone was showing pictures of their omnibus, and someone said they weren't a big fan of technical books, but here I can learn from Carrie Gamble on how to draw monsters and heroes for film and comics. And one of the things that I've mentioned a couple dozen times, anytime I talk about art or someone asks me if I'd ever draw something, I have a degree in uh, social sciences education and speech theater education, more for the speaking and teaching like debate and competitive speech. But I had to take theater classes, and I damn near failed design that I got a pity pass because I would try to do all of the art, but everything would look like shit. So maybe I can learn how to draw, or maybe one of my 3 children will have some kind of artistic acumen that I can sit on this book and give them, or find a how to draw comics the Marvel way and pair those two things together. But yeah, aside from I think the goodness of the Marvel box or some of this indie box, not very exciting to me, but I think that's more on me than it is on them in terms of not picking what I thought it would be. But I think it's a hell of a deal if you're looking for more things to read, or the chance of getting some random books from the 80s to present. Their website, I think, is literally just milehighcomics.com responses. So if this is the route that you're going to go and you want to order one, be prepared to wait 2.5 or 3 weeks. But I think at this point, all of us probably have both stuff piled up in terms of what we want to read, and we know and understand the hell that everybody's going through in terms of being more patient. The only other thing that I wanted to say, while I've got you all here. When I unboxed stuff from my LCS a day or two ago, and it's ironic that Wes is on here, since I won Wes's drawing for his 200 followers giveaway, and I'm stealing a page out of his book that I will announce here, and then I'll post it on Twitter when I'm done. That once I hit 200 followers, I am holding an autographed comic in my hand that I won't release the title, but I will tell you that it is a book signed by Jason Aaron that I will raffle away uh, once I hit 200 followers, and maybe I'll do a little bit of a reveal of part of a cover to tease some folks as I slowly continue to climb up. But believe you me, Wes, I think your packaging from Undiscovered Country is still sitting under my table here because you packed it real nice, and I am afraid of shipping someone my first comic and it getting all bent to shit. So between the things that I've gotten from Wes or from Peter Smart in the mail, these are two people who are absolute wizards of packaging books to ship. So I'll reveal something there, but it's been a hectic, busy day, good day. If you saw my blog over the past 2 days, I've landed some interviews with people from a small publisher in Ashcan Comics, go by ACP Studios also, that they are publishing a lot of smaller format books. And they have a lot of digital stuff that I've spent most of the day messaging back and forth with some of their authors and creators. And I have a bunch of reviews of their stuff and interviews with their authors and their artists coming down the pipe. So it took a hell of a lot of discipline for me today when this box came in the mail to not shut down in the middle of the day and ignore my wife and children to crack in and see what's in there. But it's been busy. It's been good. And if y'all are looking for someone who's putting out some new content, check them out. There are a couple of links to their stuff up on comicbookposer.com. But I don't think I have anything else exciting to say or talk about. I think you can see that I'm quite tired. But I still won't go to bed for a while because I enjoy my late night daddy time. But Wes, I see your comment of bubble wrap, bubble wrap, bubble wrap. I do have a, you know, foot tall box over here from the pops and stuff that I got from Peter that has, I think, about 3 football fields worth of bubble wrap in there. So I think I've got every kind of hard surfaces I can put together in there. But Wes, Grabs, you got anything you want to talk about? You want me to mumble about before I hang this up and maybe start reading some of the trades that I just unboxed, or I've got Flashpoint and a Red Sun staring me in the face that I might read them. Either of y'all have any thoughts on that goodness? No. Well, thanks for coming and hanging out and checking out my closet office where I will be holed up until at least May 3rd, unless things get extended again, which it could happen. It's all right, Grabs. I think you'll come up with some random things to talk about. I remember you and I chatting back and forth in Comic Burritos live chat last night, so you and I will find some stuff to chat about, or if you've got something that you're looking to get into or whatnot, you can send me a DM on Twitter. That I've got a bunch of Marvel codes that I just don't put my codes into the app. That if there's anything you're curious about or you want to hop into or you want to pick my brain on, send me a message and I'll be more than willing to chat about anything. And then, uh, Wes, you'll be ready to be very, very disappointed in me. I finished the Zdarsky Daredevil. I've got I've got some codes that I can throw your way if you don't have any or you're missing some of that run. Zdarsky's run on Daredevil is fucking fantastic right now. Uh, and I hopped on that run because uh, my local shop owner was like, "You like Zdarsky? You're gonna love this," and it's real good. I'll see if I still have some codes for. I think I had to read a couple in the first 4 or 5 books digitally. So I'll look and see if I've got codes for the first couple. That, like I said, if you send me a message, I'll slide them your way because it's too good to wait for. But Wes, I know that you are a big DC stan and a big Batman fan. I read the Court of Owls, City of Owls, and Death of the Family trades from Snyder and Capullo, and Jesus Christ, is that an amazing story run? And I tried to write about it, and I feel like I just need to quit blogging about comics because that book was so good that every word that I write down is me just going Batman, Snyder good, more Snyder Batman. But I'm trying to ease myself more into the DC Batman world because so many of the folks who I follow on Twitter are more DC than Marvel folks, so I'm trying to dive into your pool. But if neither of you think anything else, thanks for swinging by. Have a good night, and like I said, send me a message on Twitter, and I will send you some Daredevil trades, or if you find that you like the kind of stuff that Zdarsky is writing, then you'll love his Invaders run uh, as well. That I've got some stuff that I can push your way to. I think I get some TKO books on Monday. Have a good night.